Now, what you have to do, those who have already installed Anaconda in their system, okay, go to your search menu, okay, and write Anaconda Navigator. Okay, so this kind of app should be visible to you. Anaconda Navigator. Once you open this app, okay, inside the Anaconda Navigator application, you will find an option to open Jupyter Notebook. Hear me out. Okay, either you can open Anaconda Navigator, like I said earlier also in the previous session, that Anaconda Navigator is basically a collection of multiple softwares bundled together. Okay, so now when you open Anaconda Navigator, now you will find a like multiple options there. Okay, so you can go to you can go to Jupyter Notebook there and click on open. Okay, launch, basically launch option should be available. Or what you can do, if you have already installed Anaconda, then you can directly open your search and write here Jupyter Notebook like this. Okay, write Jupyter Notebook, click on it. Okay, once you click on it, okay, this kind of window should open. Okay, it might take a minute or so at max. Okay, and thereafter, what you can do, okay, it might take a minute or so, and then this window will open on your browser. For some of you, it might ask, class, is my voice breaking for everyone? Or it is fine, right? Okay, for those, if you think my class is sorry, voice is breaking, try checking your internet connection once. Okay, is my voice audible clearly also? Perfect. Okay, is it available for MacBook? Yes, Shweta, it is available for MacBook also. Okay, the same thing, Anaconda, you can go to Anaconda website from here. Okay, I'm just quickly showing you, go to Anaconda website, go to free download here. Okay, and then click on this Mac button. Okay, this Apple icon, you can click on this Apple icon. Okay, then it will show you the different versions available. So based on if you're using a normal, then you can use graphical installer, or if you're using M1, then you can choose this one. Totally based on your requirement. It is available for all of them. Okay, it is available for Windows, Linux, Mac, all. Okay. Now coming back to this. Okay, so once you open Jupyter Notebook, this kind of window should be visible to you. Now, by default, now what it will do, it will open every time in C drive also only. And I would recommend you to let it open in C drive, okay, the root drive of your system. Why? Because there is no way to permanently change the drive folder. Okay, there is a way, but it requires a lot of settings, plus lot of like things we need to do in the software. Okay, so for better is what I do, what I personally follow is I go to documents folder. Okay, you can follow the same thing if you want. Okay, go to documents folder. Here what you need to do, okay, go to new. Okay, click on folder. What it will do now, it will create an empty folder. Here you can see it is showing an empty folder created seconds ago. Okay, what you can do, rename it to whatever you want to. Suppose let's say you're renaming it to, let's say for now, maybe I don't know, let's say Python class. Okay, Python notebooks. Okay, you click on rename. Okay, so you can see here is a folder present called as Python notebooks. You open it, it is currently empty. Now what we need to do here, we'll go to new and click on Python 3. Once we do this, okay, a separate window will open, which is actually the Jupyter notebook where we will actually be writing the code. Okay, let it open. It will, I think, take 10-20 seconds. Yep. Okay, so now this is the interface we will be working on. Okay, now class, since all of you already have the access of the drive folder, okay, whatever code, whatever file I will be creating in every session, okay, whatever file I will create in every session, okay, I will be different. Okay. Okay, let me just quickly show it again. Okay, what you need to do, class? Okay, go to search, write Jupyter notebook like this. Okay, press enter. Once you press enter, it might show you a window like this. Okay, for a minute. It might take a minute maximum. Okay, depending on system to system. Okay, let it open. Okay, in parallel, I am showing you. Okay, let it open. It will open in a while. Okay. Uh, those who are not using Anaconda, who are going for collab, you can go to open this, search collab notebook. Okay, open this Google Collab thing. This link. Okay, it should open a website like this. Now here, go to as I can click on new notebook. Better is this. This is still opening. Sindhu, don't worry about all those things. You can ask your point of contact also later on for that. Okay. So this is the same window. Okay. Google Colab also you can see we can write the code. Okay. But once you open it, do one thing, click on the connect button here. Okay. Click on the connect button here. So it will basically connect to a virtual server, okay, of Google, and then you can use Google Colab. Now Google Colab is separate, Jupyter Notebook is separate. So once see it will open like this. Once all this thing is done, it will automatically open a window, a separate tab in a browser. Okay, for in some of you, it might ask that which browser you want to use, either Google Chrome or Safari or Edge, whatever is installed in your system, it might ask. Okay, then what you can do, you can go to documents or any folder where you want to store all your files, all your codes. Okay, in my case, I'm going to documents. Okay, then I will go to new, click on new folder. Okay, it will create a file. It will create a folder called as untitled folder here. You can see also seconds ago here. Okay, go to here, then click on rename. Okay, and mention whatever name you want to write. Suppose let's say I want to, in my case, I want to write my Python codes. Okay, so I will click on rename. So now you can see there is a folder called as my Python codes like this. Okay, now here what you need to do, once you come inside this folder, once you are already inside this folder, okay, you can click on new and then Python 3, this first one. Okay, so Python 3. So it will open a separate window. I understand this. Some of you might feel like it is a lengthy process, but once you get a hang of it, it is literally easy. Okay, so no need to worry on that. Yeah. Yeah, so we have already opened this. Now we will be writing our codes here. Now, as you can see, this Jupyter Notebook and Google Colab somewhat looks alike. Okay, here also we will be writing the code here. In same manner, in Jupyter Notebook, here also we will writing the code. Okay, so no, not a big deal. Okay. So if you're getting a notebook option, then just select notebook, no problem. That is probably because of the difference of version. You might be having a newer version of this Jupyter. I'm having a older version. Okay. Now class, let's start with the Python thing. Okay. Today is the first class, okay, is of Python. Okay. So we will be continuing with Python. Okay. For like some time now, for at least, I think, obviously depending on the speed, but at least a month. Okay. We will be working on Python. Okay. Now I will be starting everything from scratch. So if any of you feel like you're not getting anything, you're not getting any term, please feel free to ask. Okay. You can always mention. Okay, so I will try my best to explain each and every term, okay, based on whatever you're asking. Okay, perfect. So now class, I'm assuming that all of you are already at the screen. Okay, those who are following me. Okay, so I will continue from here. Those who are following Google, those are like using Google Colab, open this, click on connect. Okay, it might take a minute at max. Okay, in this case, you don't need to install anything in your system. Okay, so if any of you have not already didn't get the chance to install anything, okay, and you want to practice today, I would recommend you to go with Google Colab for now. Later on, you can always go to Jupyter Notebook. Not a big deal. Okay, here whatever files you will be creating now, they will automatically get stored in your Google Drive, and you can open it anywhere, wherever you want, whenever you want. Okay, once you have already opened the folder now, click on the folder to open it. Okay, like here I created my Python codes folder. Okay, and here click on new and then Python 3 notebook. This first option, whatever is visible, you can open it. It will lead to you to this screen. Okay, now starting with Python class. Okay, see the sequence, like some of you are asking me the sequence that I will be covering. Okay, first topic that I will be covering will be variables. Okay, then followed by, I guess I will go with data types. Okay, then I will go with comments. Okay, then I should go with, I think I can go with type of operators. Okay, types of operators will take time. Data types also will take time. Uh, Data types with examples, actually I will cover properly how they work. Okay, types of operators, then this followed by conditional statements. Okay, basically if I say in like layman terms, like if you have heard, okay, if else, basically if else, okay, then this will be followed by loop statements. Okay, loop statements are basically, if you have heard, maybe for while. Okay, then followed by jump statements, that is your break, continue. There is another, but we will cover that later. Okay, there is another jump statements, then and so on. Okay, so this is the general thing that we'll be covering. Okay, just to get you give you an idea. uh Sai, I think I'm not sure. Study material ke liye, if I would suggest you can ask your point of contact for the study material ones. Okay, like they can uh, tell you if it is available or not. Okay, but from my side, what I can do, I have a book with me. Okay, like soft copy basically. Okay, no. You did just a minute. Okay, so I have a soft copy, so I will be uploading that on the drive. So if you want, you can follow that also. Okay, if okay, I think it should not be required ideally. Okay, because I will be covering everything. But still, if you require, I will upload that in the drive. Don't worry on that. Okay, no, I have mentioned the sequence of topics. Okay, I won't be able to cover all of them today. Like this is like 70% of Python. I won't be able to cover everything today. I just gave the sequence. Ha, Divya, don't worry about that. I'm starting with basics only. I'm not yet started. Amar, I will upload the book. Okay. But still, see, if anyone of you want to go out and like purchase an actual book or something, so there is a book called as Yashwant Kanetkar. Okay, some of you might have heard the name. It was very famous for the C language, C and C++, but now it is available for Python also. So you can follow that. Okay, but otherwise, I will be sharing a soft copy of a book. You can follow that too. Totally. Okay. We will be having practical sessions. Yes. Don't worry. Libraries, so we will be covering later on. Even though I have not mentioned all the topics. Okay. I have just mentioned a general sequence. Okay. Whatever will come after this sequence, I will mention at that time. Okay. Book name I am mentioning here. Book name is basically Yashwant uh, Kanetkar. That is the author name. Okay. Python with, I think, something like this. The name should be something like this. Just Google it once. No, Mahesh, I'm afraid not. This is a webinar, so that is not available. Okay, so class, let's start now. Okay, first thing that I'm going to cover is your variables topic. Okay, So class, let's understand variables. Okay, first of all, okay, suppose, see, when we talk about coding specifically, okay, so coding, see, I say a very simple sentence usually. See, coding is all about playing with data. Okay, basically whatever we are doing, okay, suppose let's say if we take a very simple example, let's say you're ordering something on Zomato, okay, or let's say you're ordering something on maybe Amazon, or maybe as simple as you're searching something on Google. Okay, so whatever you're doing in real life, whenever you're interacting with computer or in daily life also for that matter, okay, everything everywhere, some kind of data is involved. Suppose let's say you're searching something on YouTube or Google. So whatever search term that you mention on Google is basically considered a data for the Google. You mention something on Google, you press enter. So that data, that word, suppose let's say you search maybe I don't know, let's say jeans near me, for example. So that jeans near me, this key term will go as a data to Google. Okay, Google will process this data. Okay, and on the basis of the data, it will give you some results. And the results that you're getting on your screen are also basically some kind of data. Okay, so now in order to store the data in our system, in our not in our system precisely, but in our code temporarily, okay, what we need to do, we need some kind of variables. Okay, now suppose let's say I want to store my own name. Okay, so what I will do, I will write here name or any word. Okay, name is equal to, in quotes, okay, I will write here Harshil. Okay, now suppose class, let's say I want to I don't know, maybe I want to store the year. Okay, so I will write here year is equal to, currently it is 2024. Yes, Letters Python by Yashwant Kanetkar. That is the book name. Okay, right, Santosh. Thanks for it. Okay, so now here you can see class Harshil, this thing Harshil. Okay, and here 2024. Both of these are basically what? These are data. Okay, and when we say name and year, okay, these are basically what? These are variable. Okay, so we are storing in something inside variables. Okay, so what are variables? Variables are, these are basically storage containers, or I would say these are basically, these are, mm, I will write multiple definition. Okay, they are storage containers used to store data in a code. First thing, okay, variables are the names of the memory locations where data gets stored. As simple as that. Okay, it is a memory location where data will get stored. Okay, so suppose if I give you another example, okay, suppose I'm writing here class, let me add a cell here, other can pick plus. Okay, so now I already, okay, tell me, have you heard the term manat anywhere class? Manat, MANNAT. Those from India should have heard it, I think. Can you tell me where? Exactly right. Okay, Shah Rukh Khan's house. Okay, so if I write here class, Mannat is equal to Shah Rukh. Okay, so what exactly is Mannat? Mannat is basically the name. Okay, tell me, if you want to send, suppose let's say I want to send something to Shah Rukh. So will I write to Shah Rukh, then Mannat? Okay, should it be sufficient, or I would have to write the entire address, precise address, when I'm sending something to, let's say I'm sending something to Shah Rukh, and I write to, in the on the letter I write to Shah Rukh, okay, and then Mannat. So will it be sufficient, or I will have to mention the entire address? I will, Siddhika, don't worry about that. Okay, I will explain that also in there later on. Okay, I will have to mention the entire address exactly. So in similar manner, when we say Mannat is equal to Shahrukh, okay, so Mannat is basically just a name of the location where Shahrukh is stored. Okay, if you consider Shahrukh as a data, so where the location where Shahrukh is stored, okay, the name of that location is Mannat. Okay, and Mannat is a variable in coding. I hope everyone is getting it now, right? So variables are basically those memory locations are the names of the memory locations. I'm not saying memory location. Variable is the name of the memory location where data is getting stored. Getting this, everyone? Perfect. Okay, now when we're dealing with data, when we're dealing with variables now specifically, so there are different rules. Okay, like suppose variable is what? Variable is just is a name, right? Suppose I'm let's say we have a student participant here called as Rishabh. Okay, so now Rishabh is basically a, like a name. Okay, you cannot name someone and Rishabh 1 2 3. Rishabh 1 2 3 is not a name, right? Okay, so in real life also, whenever we name a child, whenever name a baby, okay, so we have some specific rules that we follow. That okay, there will be a first name, will be a last name. Similarly, in coding also, okay, there are rules. Okay, the rules for naming variables. Okay, there are some rules present. Let's cover that. Okay, first rule class that is there. The names should name. The names can only contain alphabets, digits, and underscore character. Okay, I will explain, don't worry. This is the first rule. Second rule is a name cannot start with a digit. Now, a name can have a digit, but it cannot start with a digit. Let me explain separately. Okay, suppose I'm naming, suppose I want to store, I don't know, maybe my maths marks. Okay, maths 12th class marks in mathematics. Okay, so I will write here x is equal to, let's say, maybe, okay, uh, in maths it was 88. Okay, so I will write here x equal to 88. Okay, so now I can write x equal to 88. That is okay. It can contain alphabets. Okay, first thing I can write here x1 equal to 88. That will also work. Okay, suppose I want to store physics marks. Okay, so I can write here p1 underscore equal to 88. That will also work. Okay, I can write here uh, physics mat was 91. Okay, so I can chemistry may suppose I can write c underscore is equal to 95. Okay, that will also work. Okay, it is not necessary that it should have all three of them. It should have an alphabet. It ideally, what in majority scenarios what we generally follow, that we usually alphabet is always there. Digit and underscore we basically keep based on our requirement. Okay, but okay, like I said, x1 equal to 88 will work. Okay, this is correct. Okay, but if I write here 1x equal to 88, okay, so this is incorrect. Are you getting this, everyone, class? Okay, it can have a digit, but it cannot start with a digit. Okay, that is a these are first two rules. Okay, next rule is class names are case sensitive. Case sensitive. Case means, okay, case means uppercase, lowercase, like small letter or capital letter, like that. Okay, so that is what we call as case. Okay, so if I am writing case sensitive, in essence, okay, upper and lower cases are treated as separate entities. Entities. I guess spelling is correct. Okay. So now that means suppose if I'm writing x equal to 88, and if I write capital X equal to 88, okay, maybe let's say 89. Okay, I'm just commenting this out for now. Don't worry. I will explain what is the meaning of this hash. Okay, don't worry. Don't worry about it for now. Okay, so if I run this code, okay, so you can see here it is showing error. Okay, 1x line 7 mein it is showing error. Ki 1x equal to 88, it is not taking. Okay, but if I comment this out for now, commenting means it will ignore it for now. Okay, so here you can see it is working fine. If I write here small x, it will show 88. If I write capital X, it will show 89. See, these are two separate variables storing two separate data values. Okay, small x is lowercase, capital X is uppercase. Okay, I'm just quickly explaining this again. Okay, where different example here, like let's say we were writing name. Okay, so what I can do, a underscore b, this can work. Yes, Mamta. Okay, so I can write here, let's say, suppose I want to write my name, so I can write here name is equal to, see, on the first thing, there is an LHS, there is RHS, equal to, before equal to, there is left hand side, after equal to, there is right hand side. Okay, before equal to, that is a variable name, that is where the rules matter. On the right hand side, okay, that is like, for example, I'm writing here Harshil. Okay, no Rohit, whatever I'm covering, just covered it. Okay, where I mentioned Harshil on the right hand side, okay, that part is basically the data. So data can be anything. You don't need to worry about the rules in case of data. It can be anything. Okay, these rules are not valid for data. These rules are for the variable naming on the left hand side. So I can write name equal to Harshil. I can write here name. Suppose I can write here first name like this. First underscore name is equal to Harshil. It should be in quotes. Remember that. Okay. Why? Quotes I will explain later on. Okay, I can write here, let's say maths underscore, okay, is equal to 88. Okay, I can write it like this. Okay, but okay, similarly, suppose I can maybe, I don't know, I can write my first semester exams. Marks STEM 1 is equal to 8.7. Okay, I can write it like this. Okay, but I cannot write it digit in the starting. I can put an underscore in the starting. I can write here underscore SAM1 equal to 90. That will also work fine. But I cannot put a digit in the starting. Once SAM is equal to 90, we'll throw an error. Okay, frame queue, this is the first topic that I'm covering. Okay, can we define two variables in the same line with different values? Rahul, that will also work. I will explain that. Don't worry. For name, we always have to use apostrophe. Yes, Aradhana. Is underscore first name? ठीक है. Sir, between the two words, spaces are allowed? No. In variable name, no, space is not allowed. Here you can see I have mentioned first underscore name. Okay, so I can write, see, first space name, this will not work. See, if I run this, it will throw error. Okay, so that is why I'm putting an underscore here. But yes, I can write here. Okay, space I can put in the data as much as I want. Okay, Harshil space Bansal. If I run this code, this will work fine. No problem at all. In places of use, exactly, you can use underscore. That will work. Print on 4 and 5. Acha, that is a feature of Prem. That is a feature of Jupyter Notebook. Okay, in Jupyter Notebook, we are able to directly interact with the memory. Okay, so there is, those who are not getting this, don't worry at all. Okay, I'm just answering print for now. Okay, so print, basically it will work without print also in Jupyter Notebook only. Okay, because here we are directly interacting with the memory, so it can access the data and show it on the screen. If you want to use print, that will also work. Okay, so I hope all of you get this three rules at least for now. Okay, next rule is that reserved keywords, okay, I'm saying should not be used for naming variables. Okay, that means what? Okay, this fourth rule I'm explaining, reserved keyword should not be used for naming. Okay, what I mean by this, say in real life, like there are some reserved keywords available, right? Suppose let's say I'm saying laptop. Okay, so laptop is a basically a reserved word, okay, for a specific entity. Okay, okay, let's suppose there is a new baby, okay, new child, okay, and I am naming that child as laptop. No, we cannot do that, right? Okay, we can actually, in some cases we can. Okay, you can say that we can name a baby as laptop, but we usually don't. Okay, why? Because laptop is already a reserved keyword in our English language. Okay, suppose there is someone in some village in India, okay, those maybe they are using Hindi, so maybe they can use laptop. Why? Because laptop is not a reserved keyword in Hindi language. Okay, I hope you're getting the point here, right? Reserved keyword. So similarly, in every language, for that matter, okay, there are some reserved keywords present which are already predefined. Python already knows the meaning of those words, okay, in the backend. Okay, so if you want to get a list of reserved keywords, you can simply write Python, okay, reserved keywords. Okay, you will get the list. Okay, you can. This takes a lot of time. So here you can see you are getting a list. Okay, return, else, in, assert, continue, if, okay, break, upset. Okay, there are many, there are more also. Okay, you can, I think, you can see here also, or you can go to images. Okay, so there is an entire list. Now, now hear me out. Now, class, you don't need to remember this. Okay, you don't need to remember all these keywords. Okay, why? Okay, because there is a small trick, I would say. Okay, for example, here you can see there is a keyword called as and. Okay, now if in my code I try to write here, write and is equal to 1. See the difference. When I was writing here name is equal to Harshil, so see the name, see the color of the word name. It is black color, right? But when I'm writing and, so and is automatically getting converted to green color. So depending on the software that you are using, those who are using Jupyter Notebook, in your case, it will convert to green color, but others, if you're using any other software, maybe PyCharm or maybe Google Colab or maybe some other software, so depending on software it will change, that is for sure. Okay, whenever you use a keyword it will automatically change it to some other thing. Okay, so that should be a clue for you. Okay, if it is changing color, then don't use it as a keyword. Why? Because here if I run this code, see, it will throw me an error. First line it is working fine, name equal to Herschel is working fine. Okay, but in the second line it is throwing error. Okay. Also, one more thing, class. Here you can see line 2, na? It is showing line 2. So how to open this this line numbers? It would not be visible in your case. So you can go to view, and here you will get an option to toggle line numbers. Shift L. That is a shortcut. Okay. Shift L. No. Shift L. You have to go to command mode first. Okay. Or you go to give view. Okay. And from here, you can follow. Hmm. If you use the just name in next line, will it print Herschel? Yes, Priyank. If I use just name here, it will print Herschel. Sorry to interrupt. There could be students who are now explaining interpreter and compiler Python for extensions. Sindhu, I understand completely your point. Okay, but see, those are coming from non-technical background. Na? So what I generally prefer is, okay, start with this. Okay, later on, what I do is basically, okay, as we start writing a sufficient like big like small code, at least of 4 or 5 lines, then at that time I explain the concept of interpreter and compiler, okay, with that example only, okay, so that you can understand better. Okay, at that time you don't need to work on all of these things. I understand that there will be a gap in the starting because of that. Okay, since you already know, that is why you are filling the gap. Okay, but those who are coming from non-technical background, class, tell me one thing. Those who are not coming from non-technical background, are you getting these things? Whatever I'm covering so far? Okay, if you're not getting, so what exactly you're not getting? At least let me know. Okay, I understand, Sindhu. Again, I'm saying interpreter and compiler, all those things are required, and I will cover that. Okay, but later. Oh, Siddharth, I will work on that then. Keep that in mind. Bit lost in bit. Mahesh, that will see we are just it is just a first day. I completely understand that will little bit happen. Okay, that is why I'm little bit trying to grow slow also, and I'm trying to explain things again and again. Okay, giving different examples. Yes, once you practice again, you will understand. If you watch the video again, maybe you will understand okay, how these things are working. Okay, right now a lot of things are going in your mind. Okay, maybe your software might not be working, or maybe some of you have not yet installed the software. Okay, or like I'm writing also, so you're reading what I'm writing. So all this basically, all these things will work as a notes also for you. Ratni, just give me a minute. I had some issue on the Python kernel. Vishal, yes, whatever works for you, you can discuss. What is a shortcode to run the code? Okay, once when you run, see, when you have already written the code, there are two things you can do. Okay, either you can click on this run button, click on the cell that you want to execute, click on this run button. Okay, or just click on the cell, click on shift plus enter. The cell that you want to execute, go to that cell and press shift plus enter. Siddharth, along the course only I will cover that. Divya, that will ask me at the end of the session. Ramesh, I will come to that in some time once I cover data types. After the class, Divya. Okay. Now, Jayavardhana, let me show you one thing. Okay. Some of you might face this problem, and let me tell you why this is happening. Suppose class, let's say I'm writing here x is equal to 1, for example, for now. And then I added a new cell, okay, maybe, and I wrote here x is equal to 9, let's say. Okay. Now, notice one thing. Here, can you see these brackets? In these brackets right now, these in both of these are empty. There is nothing, there is no number written inside the bracket. Now if there is no number inside the bracket, that simply means that particular cell has not been executed yet. I have not executed the code. Hear me out, class. Whenever we write our code now, okay, so we have to click on this run button in order to execute the code. Just writing the code will not execute it. You will just write the code, that's it. The code will be there. Okay, when you write a code, okay, that is just a simple code that you have written. Okay, it will not execute at all. Okay, unless and until you click on this run button. Once you click on this run button, okay, what will happen? Let me show you. Suppose I am clicking this cell x equal to 9 and I am clicking on this run button. Now here it is showing 16. Now suppose I will write here x is equal to maybe 56. Okay, let's take an example. Now I will click on this plus button. Now I will write here x. Okay, and I will click on this run button again. Now what do you think should be the answer here? It will show 9. Why? Because C class, I have written x equal to 56, but I have not executed the code yet. Okay, so in the memory, it is still x equal to 9. It is still x equal to 9. Let me show you. If I run this cell, here you can see it is showing x equal to 9. So just writing the code won't make sense, won't do anything. You have to execute the code also. Okay, got this now, everyone? Make sure you execute the code. Also, one more thing, suppose class, let's say now I go back here, x equal to 56, this line, okay, and I click on this run button. Now see the sequence in which the cells has been executed. It is showing 16 here. That means first we executed the x equal to 9 cell. Then it is showing 17 here. So we executed this third cell. Then it is showing 18 here. That means we executed this x equal to 56 cell. Right? Now tell me, if I write in this fourth cell, if I write x here, now what will it print? Now, based on the sequence, 56 exactly. Okay? Because why? Because see, understand this class in this manner. What happened initially in the starting? Okay, just a minute. Actually, I use some other software, but I forgot to open that. Don't worry. See what happens in the starting. Okay, when you write x equal to 1, or let's say, let's forget x equal to 1 for now. I'm taking x equal to 9 first. Okay, what will happen? Python, what Python will do? It will literally go to the memory. Okay, it will take a memory location, random memory location in the computer. Okay, in the RAM basically. Okay, it will name that memory location as x. Okay, it will name that memory location as x. Okay, as x, and since I have written x equal to 9, so it will store 9 inside that memory location. Okay, now first I executed this, then I executed this 17. Okay, so now when I'm fetching, okay, here I'm creating plus at this point, at this place, what I'm doing, I'm creating a variable. Okay, at this point, what I'm doing, I'm fetching the value of the variable. Value means data, fetching the data of the variable, whatever data is stored inside that particular location. Okay, now what I did, I read x equal to 56. Now in this case, what will happen, class? It will go to the same memory location x equal to 9. Okay, and it will replace 9 with 56. You can understand this in this manner. For now, it will do x equal to 56. Now in my case, if I write here x, what should be the answer? This last one, the last cell, what should be the answer? 56 exactly. Okay, so if I run this code, it will show 56 because the value of x variable is updated in the memory. Okay, I hope this thing got cleared with everyone. Perfect. Now someone asked me, does the code runs line by line? Yes. Okay, suppose I'm writing here x is equal to, suppose, Shri, yes, memory space can differ. Okay, depending on the requirement. Okay, memory space can differ, but in our case, in Python specifically, we don't need to worry about the memory. Okay, because Python follows dynamic memory allocation. Basically, Python allocates memory in runtime. Okay, let me explain this for everyone. Okay, Python allocates memory in runtime. What is the meaning of this statement? Okay, runtime basically means when the code has already started the execution. Okay, at that time, depending on the data we are getting, okay, data can come from anywhere. Right now we are writing x equal to 1, x equal to 9. Okay, we are basically writing the data in our code itself. But in real life scenario, suppose let's say you're ordering something from Amazon. Okay, you're ordering, let's say maybe I don't know, maybe some shirt. Okay, okay, and you mentioned quantity equal to 2. Okay, so the name of the shirt and the quantity is equal to 2. Tell me, will Amazon know right from the starting that you're going to order 2 shirts? Is this information already present in the database of Amazon that you're going to order 2 shirts? No, no, that will come in real time. That will come from your end, right? Okay, so depending, that is what we mean by runtime. Okay, so the data when we're getting from the runtime, okay, so Python what will will do based on the data, based on the length of the data, it will allocate the memory. Okay, suppose let's say if I explain this very layman terms, okay, suppose some of my friends are coming to my city, okay, for whatever reason, okay, for 2, 4, 5 days, let's say, okay, and I have to arrange some place for them to stay, okay. So depending on the number, suppose if I don't know how many people, how many friends are coming, will I be able to arrange the accommodation for them? No, no, exactly. Okay, so this is called as dynamic memory allocation. Okay, precisely this is called as dynamic memory allocation. So what happens to memory allocation? Memory allocation happens in runtime. Depending on the length of the data, depending on the size of the data, Python will allocate the memory in runtime. Got this, everyone, class? Memory, all of you understand, right? RAM is there in our system. Okay, so when I say the term memory, okay, in most of the cases it means RAM. Okay, so now dynamic means what? Okay, there are two types of memory allocation. Okay, this is part of variables only, so I'm covering here. Okay, why my screen is stuck? Just a minute. What happened? Just a minute, class. I'm not able to click on the cell. I don't know why. Right. Okay. So what I was saying, there are two types of memory allocation when we talk about in general. Okay. There is something called as static memory allocation. Okay. Or writing in short for now. Okay. Memory is allocated during in the starting. Okay. Precisely the word for that is compilation. Okay. During compilation. Okay. When we're writing the code, now compilation basically means, see, whenever we write a code, now we have to check, okay, whether the code is working fine or not. And that is not checked by us actually. It is checked by the interpreter. It is checked by the software that you're using, compiler or interpreter. I will cover that. Don't worry. Let it be for now. Okay. In the starting, that is called a static memory allocation. Even before the code is run, okay, even before that, okay, your memory will be allocated. Okay. This is what happens in case of languages such as C. Okay, C++. This is what happens in those languages. By default, these languages follow static memory allocation. But when we talk about Python specifically, so Python follows C++ follows static memory allocation. Python follows dynamic memory allocation. Dynamic means that everything is happening in memory allocation is happening in runtime. Okay, when the code has already started the execution at that time, based on the requirement, okay, based on the data, it will allocate the memory for that. Okay. Now, what happens when you're writing, suppose in your code x equal to 1, then you write x equal to 4. So now, first, what will happen? The code, in case of Python specifically, I'm saying, first the code, first the control will come to line number 1. Okay. Python will execute the first line. Okay. Then Python will execute the second line. Okay. They can be two separate variables also. Let me take an example. Okay. Okay. Suppose let's take a equal to 1, okay, b equal to 4. Okay, then I'm writing here 1w is equal to 3. Now, can anyone tell me if I execute this, if I run this cell, if I execute this cell, will it work completely? What do you think? Why no? What will be the error? Why will be the error? 1w is not acceptable. Exactly. Syntax error at line number 3. Perfect. So if I run this code, here you can see it is showing error. Okay, that should mean if it is showing error, that should mean if I try to see if A is created yet or not. So what will happen? It will throw error, or it will give me 1. Because there was error in the cell, no? So it should give error, no? We were not able to execute the code. No, it will give us 1. Okay, why? Okay, let it be. It will give you name is not defined. How is it possible? Wait a sec. A equal to 1, B equal to 4. Okay, this is syntax error, na? Sorry. Okay, this is syntax error, na? So let me suppose, let's say there is some other error. Maybe let us say if I write here print. Just give me a minute. I'm just checking something. See, now it is working fine. Now hear me out, class. There is one small thing. Okay, there is one small thing called as errors. Okay. Now there are multiple types of error present. Okay, now there are multiple types of error present. Hear me out clearly. Okay, first, okay, when we talk about errors, first is called as compile time errors when we're writing the code and we're checking the code at that time. Okay, then second is runtime errors. Okay, now the error that we were getting here, suppose when I was writing, I written here 1W is equal to 9. In that case, it was showing syntax error. Now, syntax error is basically a part of compile time error. Okay. In case of compile time error, what will happen in case of Python? Since there is syntax error at some line in the code, what will happen? It will not execute anything at all in the entire cell. Okay. Since there is some kind of syntax error. Okay. Suppose let's say I give you I am suppose I'm giving you a letter. Okay, I send some letter to you. Okay, and there is something written in that letter. Okay, whatever, some kind of application, some kind of letter, whatever is there. Okay, now in that letter there is some kind of error in some lines. Okay, and you have already seen I have written something in Urdu. I have written something in maybe French. Okay, I have written something in maybe I don't know Tamil. Let's say at some place. Okay, in the letter. So what will happen? You will see now that there is Tamil written or there is French written. So you won't be able to understand that, right? Possibly, I consider assuming that you don't know the language, you won't be able to read that, right? Letter. Same thing will happen in Python also. Exactly. Okay, same thing will happen in Python also. Okay, if there is a syntax error, Python will not execute the entire cell. But if there is some kind of runtime error, okay, like here I had written print EWF. Now this name error, okay, later on, okay, there is a separate topic for this, okay, called as exception handling. I will explain this there. Okay, but there are multiple types of runtime errors present. Okay, there are approximately, I think, as far as I remember, approximately 29 to 30 types of runtime errors are there. Okay, I will explain another, don't worry. Okay, so there are approximately 29 to 30 types of runtime errors present. Now, if there is a runtime error in your code, okay, now runtime error will occur when? Tell me. When the code actually starts getting executed, right? So in case of syntax error, Python will not start the execution. But assuming that there is no syntax error, okay, Python will see if there is no syntax error in the entire cell, okay, in the entire code that you're executing at that particular time, what will Python do? Python will execute the cell line by line. Here you can see, execute the code line by line. Here you can see there is error in line number 3, but still if I write here A, it is giving me 1. So line number 1 and 2, that means A equal to 1 and B equal to 4. Okay, these two lines are already executed. It is just throwing error in line number 3. Okay, let me show you another thing. Suppose I write here D is equal to 34 and I run the cell again. Okay, now if I write here A already works. Now if I write here B, it will also work, B equal to 4. And but if I write here D, what do you think will happen? Will it give us 34? No. Okay, why no? Simply see, it is showing name D is not defined. Why? Because since in case of Python, Python follows interpretation. Interpretation basically means executing the code, checking and executing the code line by line. Okay, so as soon as Python reaches line number 3 and there is an error in line number 3, it will stop then and there. It won't continue any further. Exactly, line 3 is not executed, so 4 is not executed. Is this clear now till here, everyone? Now things are making sense for all of you? Those who are getting saying ki they're not getting a little bit. I hope everything got clear till now. Zuzar, continue is used for something else. We cannot use continue here. But first time, why a value is not reflecting? I am not getting your question with value is reflecting, na? Earlier there was syntax error. If you're talking about the earlier time when I was writing the code, okay, but I written the code, I written 1w is equal to 4. Okay, so in this case, there is syntax error. Okay, let me show you this again. If I write here e is equal to 90 and I write here 1w is equal to 4. Okay, and I write here, so it is throwing error. See why? Because in case of syntax error, it will not execute the entire cell. Getting this syntax error, it won't even understand the code now. See the difference, class. In case of compile time error, okay, it means that it is that Python is not, the software is not able to understand the code. That is what means compile time error. In case of runtime error, what is the meaning of runtime error? It means that in case of runtime error, Python is able to at the very least, it is able to understand the code, yes. Okay, but it is not able to execute it. There can be n number of reasons for that. Are you getting the difference, class? Compile time error means it is not able to understand the code at all. At all means that particular line, whatever line we are talking about. Okay, that is what happens in case of compile time error. But in case of runtime error, it means that it is able to understand the code, but it is not able to execute it due to n number of reasons. Like here, you can simply see, suppose, see, I've written here, what is the meaning of print? Let me quickly explain. When I write here a is equal to 1 and I write here print a. So print is class, what is print? Print is basically a function which is used to print the value of a particular variable in the code. Okay, like this. You can see it is showing us 1. Okay, that is what print does. Okay, now those who are using Jupyter Notebook, you can directly write a also, that then also it will give us 1. Okay, that is a separate thing. Okay, this is a feature available only in Jupyter Notebook. Okay, but otherwise, if you're using any other software, you have to specifically mention print. Okay, now hear me out. Suppose I write here, I don't know, I write here a equal to 1 and then I write here print, I don't know, g. Okay, so it is showing name error, name g is not defined. Tell me one thing, is there any error in this code? Any kind of syntax error in print g? No, no. So Python is able to understand the meaning of print g, right? Tell me, is Python able to understand the meaning of print g? Yes, precisely. Python is able to understand the meaning of print g, but it is not, since g is not yet created, since there is no variable named g in the memory yet, okay, yet, remember, since there is no variable named G in the memory yet, that is why it is throwing error that name G is not defined. So that is why it is called as runtime error. Python is able to understand the code, but it is not able to execute it because the requirement, the primary requirement that the variable that we're trying to print should be present in the memory is not getting fulfilled. Got this class, everyone? Does print take memory space? See, okay, just to answer this question, I just want to ask one thing. Shri, suppose let's say I ask you to remember something. Suppose let's say I ask you to remember my name. Okay, so you will allocate a space in your brain na, to store my name. Perfect. If I tell you how to do how to make coffee, let's say, if I teach you how to make coffee, okay, so how to make a coffee, that also will take some space in your brain, no? The process, the steps involved. Exactly. So that is the difference between a variable and a function. Okay, making coffee is a function, is a process, right? So similarly, print is a function. It is a predefined function, okay, basically which prints something on the screen. It is not a variable. So yes, in the similar manner, it takes memory, okay, but not in the same manner as variable. Okay, is execute equal to running the code? Is execute equal to? What do you mean by execute equal to? Vishal, I didn't get your question. Priyank, oh, it also don't allocate memory for G. Ah, yes. G is not there in the memory, no? We have not created the variable. Okay, Priyank, can you tell me the meaning of blah blah? Can you tell me the value of blah blah, Priyank? No, no, it doesn't make sense, right? You're like what I'm asking. Okay, you're getting the sentence, okay, but you're not understanding blah blah, right? Because I have not yet explained, I have not yet created that in your memory. Okay, suppose I say, let's say, uh, I scored 95 in chemistry. Okay, so can you tell me how much I scored in chemistry? Okay, can you tell me how much I scored in English? Exactly. Getting this point, class? Because I have not yet declared, I have not yet mentioned, okay, that the English is exactly, English is not yet defined in Priyank's memory. That is why he's not able to say. He's able to understand the question, but he's not able to answer it. Jacob, the difference between function and a variable is, I will be explaining this later on, don't worry about it. But just a quick example, okay? The difference between function and a variable is basically a memory location which stores some data. Variable is related to data, function is related to a process. Suppose let's say I want to, the process of making the entire coffee, that will be a function for me. Okay. Coffee will be a data for me. Coffee, sugar, milk, whatever things you're using for making coffee, that are all variables. But the entire process of making the coffee is a function. Uh, I think the question is execute and running the code are one and the same. Yes. Executing and running the code are one and the same. Yes. Everything clear, class, still here for each and everyone. Acha. Okay. Now, since we are already halfway, okay. Now tell me one thing, class. Is each one of you are getting everything I'm saying? Do you feel that you want me to change anything? Are you getting my examples? Are you liking my examples? Are the examples relatable enough? Perfect. Okay, code cell is space sensitive or not? Ram is no. Okay, see, I can write here a equal to 1 like this also. Okay, so it is not case sensitive, but I myself use space. Why? Because you got the reason, right? Yourself. Which one of the two looks better? Line number 1 or 2? Two, exactly. Okay, so that's the only reason I give space, but no, space is not a requirement. Okay, at some spaces, space is required that I will cover well when I will start condition statements. But apart from that, no. Before equal to, after equal to, space and all these things are not a necessity. Can you repeat the error part, Rohit? What part of error exactly? Which where you're getting confused? If you can tell me. Can you explain PVM, Sidesh? I will cover that. Don't worry. How to increase the size of letters? Increase the size of letters. How to increase the size? I don't know. I to basically just I use two fingers on the trackpad to zoom out. Font size, though, I think there should be an option here, I guess, somewhere. Edit may maybe, I guess. I'm not sure. There is an option, but I remember there is an option, but I'm not getting where. Help me, I think keyboard shortcuts. Hmm. I will check and let you know for that font. I'm not sure. Acha, font was bigger. No, no, Sindhu. Acha, that you're talking about. No, 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 no. See, understand the difference, class. See one thing. Okay, I am showing this in a separate cell. Suppose I'm writing something. Maybe I'm writing something literally. Okay. Now, now here you can notice one thing. Here it is showing code here. See this box. Okay, this box. This one. Okay, it is showing code here, right? Now, currently. Now, what I will do, I will click on this. I will change this to Markdown. Okay. Now this is not a code anymore. This is not a code anymore. This is just present there to make notes. Okay, Jupyter Notebook is basically a notebook, right? So it is a combination where you can write your code also, you can execute your code also, and you can make your own notes. Okay, in the notebook itself. Okay, so what I was doing, I was putting hash here, hash space. So this is the biggest heading available. Heading, this is a heading. Okay, single hash, you can see it is becoming smaller and smaller, right? 4 hashes, it is being much again smaller. Okay, so that is a heading. So if I write this, if I run this, so this is here, and I click on this run. So now this will be present as a markdown. This is called as markdown, or it will be present as a note. Okay, this is not part of code in any way at all. Okay, got this, class? If you don't put hash or anything, it will take it simply as a text, just like this, simple text. Okay, if you put a dash in the starting, dash and space, then dash something else, then it will make a list out of it. So there are multiple other things are also available. You can simply go to Google for this, and you can mark down cheat sheet Jupyter. You can search. So there is a whole cheat sheet available. Whole like multiple things available to create. You can include image also. Okay, it's from your computer. Okay, you can make notes. You can create hyperlink. Okay, multiple things are there. Give a space, Ramiz, in the starting. I specifically mentioned space. You have to put a space after the hash. Okay, and then convert the cell to markdown. Convert the cell to markdown and then click on run. See, hash errors, then dash compile, dash run. Okay, so it is looking like this. Engineer, I will cover this later on. Don't worry. Okay. Different types of errors, Rohit. Different types of errors. I was explaining that there are two types of errors: compile time and runtime. Compile time are those errors which basically which are basically seen in the code, okay, even before the execution starts. Okay, suppose let's say, Rohit, I am saying random thing I'll just say to you. Okay. So did you understand what I just said? No, wait. I'm just saying a sentence. Plural. Did you get this sentence? I'm just giving a very random example. Yeah. Okay. So you didn't get right. So, but someone else might understand exactly. Doesn't make sense. So compile time errors basically those errors which doesn't make sense to the code. So in those cases, we will get compile time error, where the software itself will not be able to understand what we have written. Okay. But when we say runtime errors, so in case of suppose I say, let's say maybe uh, Rohit, can you tell me like same example I'm taking? You got it right. Okay, we can exactly we can get both types of error. Okay, not at the same time, obviously. Okay, if you're getting syntax error, then you will not get the runtime error simply because the code has not started the execution yet. Okay, so if there is a syntax error, then there will be syntax error only. Okay, but if there is no syntax error in the code, then yes, the type of error that you will get, that will be runtime error. At same time, you cannot get both. You can get multiple types of runtime error at a single time. That is possible in some scenarios. Okay, you will understand at the end. Okay, what I'm trying to say here. Okay, but runtime error is possible. Okay, but both at the same time, compile time also, runtime also at the same time is not possible at all. Either you're getting, either you're able to understand what I'm saying, or you're not able to understand. Okay, right? I will come to your just give me a minute. A is equal to 1, B equal to C, then B equal to 10, C equal to A plus B. Will it add A and B? It will add A and B. Yes, precisely. Yes. Okay, so I'm just quickly showing the example class. Suppose I'm writing here Q is equal to 23. Okay, and then let's say I'm writing here maybe 1 is equal to 45. Okay, so in case here you can see there is syntax error. So now if I write here Q, it is showing me name Q is not defined because it has not executed the entire cell. Okay, but if I copy this, okay, there was syntax error in line number 2. See, notice there is error in line number 2. Now I will change this error to something else. Now I will change this error to something else now. Okay, here this is currently syntax error. Okay, and this is uh, syntax compile time. Okay, and this is runtime. Okay, so now if I run this code, it is throwing error. But since it was a runtime error, that means the code had already started the execution. That means if I check here Q, it will throw me, it will give me 23. Here it was throwing error. Syntax error is showing at runtime here. Where is syntax error? This is not syntax error, this is name error. Syntax means 42. Syntax error is showing at runtime. Where is 41? It's a 41 number cell. Okay, no, it is not runtime. Code has not yet started the running. Na? I clicked on the run button. I clicked on the run button, yes, but the code was not able to start the execution. Why? Because there was a syntax error in the line. So it is not runtime. You cannot call it as runtime. Got this now? Exactly. It will first check the entire thing. Remember this thing, class. It will first check if there is a syntax error or not in the code, and then it will execute. Then it will start executing the code. Is this clear for everyone? Perfect. Okay, so someone was asking something. A equal to 111, B equal to 10, and if I write here C is equal to A plus B, I was anyway going to cover it later on, but the thing